welcome or welcome back to The Books Are Everywhere. So today I'm here to start another weekly reading vlog. As I'm sure you've already seen, I've had a big bookish day out today, so I hope you've enjoyed all of the clips so far. I went to Hay-on-Wye today. I haven't been in years, but it is a bookshop town on the border of England and Wales. It has a big international festival each year, which is the Hay Festival, Hay Literary Festival, and I have been before, and I've been to the winter version as well, which is really lovely, but I haven't been for at least 2 years, I want to say, about 2 years, so it was really nice to go back. And I only picked up 2 books, which, considering we browsed a lot of shops, I am shocked but also impressed with myself. So I ended up buying 2 books. The first one I bought was And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie. As you've probably seen in my recent vlogs, I have been collecting this Agatha Christie set by HarperCollins, and I found this one, which I think these are kind of hard to get, and I think this one might be one of the ones that is harder to get, so I thought I'd just pick it up when I saw it. And this was from Richard Booth's bookshop, which is one I haven't been in before, and it was amazing. Really nice shop. So I really enjoyed visiting that one. And then I also picked up The Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zaffon. So this is one of my favourite booktubers, Booksness' favourite book, and I have wanted to read it for a while because she loves it so much, and I found this first edition hardback for £10 in a second-hand shop, which I'm not sure what the shop was called, Green Ink Bookshop I think it was called. And yeah, it's the first UK edition from 2004, and it says it's water damaged, but honestly the pages are quite yellow, but it's not bad, like it's not in bad condition at all. It's got this plastic cover on, but the dust jacket is in pretty good condition. There's a little bit of damage underneath, so I'm not sure if that's the water damage, just on the cover there. But it is honestly in pretty good condition. But I don't know much about this book other than it is a book about books. And I think it's a mystery. It's translated from, I'm not sure which language it's translated from actually. But yeah, very excited to read this one. It's one I've wanted to read for a long time, obviously, because it is Beth from Booksness' favourite book. So I'm glad I picked up a copy, and also picked up a hardback copy, which I'm really happy with. So it's translated from Spanish, which makes sense with the author's name, but I don't want to I didn't want to presume. But yeah, it's translated from Spanish. Very happy with this edition. Don't love the spine, but I like the cover a lot. The spine is okay, and it's just in too good condition to pass up for a tenner, so I picked up that one as well. So I got 2 books today. My Agatha Christie collection is expanding, which is very exciting. And I also want to tell you about the books I am currently reading. So I'm currently reading The Monsters of Rockhaven. I am over halfway through this one, hoping to finish it maybe tonight. I think I have about 120 pages left. So yeah, I'm hoping to finish it maybe tonight. Very quick read, it's a middle grade, and it kind of reminds me of Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, but for slightly younger readers. It follows Mirabelle, who is a monster, and she lives in this house. She lives in this house, which is Rookhaven, with her fellow kind of monsters who are like her family. And then these orphans, brother and sister, come across the house, and they're not meant to. They're humans, they're not meant to see the house, they're not meant to be able to get to it, but they end up kind of stumbling across it by accident, and they're taken in by the family. And then it kind of just unravels from there. It's like them being on adventures and kind of mysteries unraveling about the house. It is interesting, it's not blowing me away, it's not a new favourite, but it is interesting enough, fun to read and very easy to read as well. It's also beautifully illustrated inside. Every time I try and show you guys this, I turn to the page with the spiders on it, and I don't want to scare anybody with those because they're quite vivid. And I was reading the page yesterday and trying to like ignore the spiders, but it has these like really pretty drawings on, and this is kind of like what I wanted to show you when the new parts start. It has these really beautiful drawings, and then some of the pages are black for one of the characters, which is Piglet. So yeah, I'm on page 203, and I have about 120 pages to go, so hoping to finish that one tonight maybe. I also started reading The Poppy War today. I was buddy reading this with a few friends, and I am absolutely loving this so far. I listened to the audiobook of the first 3 chapters, which I think is what we're reading today, and I just absolutely love it. It's really good. I feel like the writing has just drawn me in straight away. It follows a girl called Rin who aced a Kiju test that or Kuju, I think it's pronounced in the book, in the audiobook, that she kind of wasn't supposed to be tested for, and she aced this test. It was a shock to everybody, and she attends this military school, which is where I have got to up in the book. And then apparently, so she is fighting a lot of prejudices. She's not supposed to be where she is really in life. She's a dark-skinned peasant girl going to the white-skinned north to an elite military school. But Rin discovers she possesses a lethal unearthly power, an aptitude for the nearly mythical art of shamanism, I presume is how you say that word. So she explores her gift with the help of a seemingly insane teacher. Rin learns that gods long thought dead are very much alive, and that mastering these powers can mean more than just surviving school. For while the Empire is at peace, the Federation of Mugen still lurks across a narrow sea. The Federation occupied Nikan for decades after the First Poppy War, and only barely lost the continent in the second. And while most people calmly go about their lives, few are aware that the Third Poppy War is just a spark away. So this is an adult fantasy book, but it reads very much like a YA, or at least it is so far. She is very young when the book starts, and then it kind of goes from there. But very excited to read more of this. Really, really enjoying it so far. I'm only like 40 pages in, but looking forward to reading more of this over the next couple of weeks. We're doing a 2-week readathon, so stick with me to hear my thoughts and feelings as we read more of this, but I'm really liking the audiobook so far as well. So yeah, very excited about that. And then I have a few more books I need to read this week before the end of the month. So wish me luck. I hope you enjoy this reading vlog. Hopefully I'll be better than last week in updating you, because hopefully I won't be ill this week. So please enjoy the reading vlog. Hi, it is Tuesday evening and I'm being really lazy and just rested you by my ring light, but oh well. I have many updates for you, and the first one being I finished Monsters of Rockhaven last night. This one I really enjoyed. I found it very easy to read. It's a middle grade book. It kind of keeps you reading on because you want to know what's kind of happening, and it had a little bit of a mystery aspect to it. I like that there was a story of the monsters and that the fact they were kind of like exiled from the local village, basically. So the Mirabelle who lives in this house with her family, and they're all kind of like some form of monster, and it kind of talks about their relationship with humans and their relationship with their local village, and they also have some humans who are kind of staying in the house with them, and I really like how it talks about that kind of like prejudice against them that the local village has and that the humans have, and basically how they're more equal than they kind of first realise. And I like that it had that kind of moral to the story. I know that there is another one in this series which I don't think I will pick up, because I feel like this story does wrap up quite nicely, and I was kind of waiting at the end for there to be something that would like leave me on a cliffhanger, but I don't think it really does. But I must say, I feel like this is one that some kids will really enjoy. I absolutely love the way it's illustrated. This is a good page to show. Really enjoyed the way it's illustrated. It makes it much more of an experience than just having, like, look how beautiful that is, than just having text. Very pretty, very easy to read. I would recommend. I'd probably give it 3.5 stars. But yeah, I did enjoy it. I also have been reading more of The Poppy War, which I need to move my bookmark. I think I'm 6 chapters in, or I've read 5 chapters and I'm at the start of chapter 6, and I must say I am really enjoying this. This one as well talks a lot about prejudice and kind of racial aspects that are talked about in here, because Rin, who is the main character, goes from this like southern rural community into the, I think this is where I am, yes, I'm 104 pages in. I might be a little bit ahead of my buddy read because I'm listening to the audiobook of this, so I'm not really keeping track too much, but yeah, I'm really enjoying this. So this talks about kind of the differences between the north and the south in this world that they're in, and because Rin is from the south, which is like rural, and she goes to the capital city, which is obviously a lot more kind of upper class, and she's kind of training with these people who are a lot more upper class than her, and she's facing these real difficult challenges. There was also something that happened in relation to a female body that I thought was just handled really interestingly. I don't know, there's a lot of stuff in here that I feel like is handled it's just really interesting to read about, in the sense of it being in a fantasy world, but they're still facing kind of issues that we face in real world. And there's also these obvious kind of differences because of their background, like what they're taught at school, what they're taught in general, and the kind of race as well. The way this like Rin is spoken to is insane, and it's very, very harsh. And also talks about self-harm, which I find super interesting, and I feel like will resonate with a lot of people. In a lot of ways, I kind of resonate with Rin because she works very, very hard, and I like to think I'm a hard worker, and it's probably more accurate to say I am sometimes as stubborn as Rin can be. So I definitely relate to her in that way, but I feel like there will be some people out there who work themselves even harder than I do, that will kind of relate to Rin in a lot of ways. So yeah, I'm really, really enjoying this. This honestly has the chance, what is the word I'm looking for? Has the kind of opportunity to be 5 stars. I feel like this could really, really take off. I'm really enjoying a lot of it so far. I really like the writing. Very, very easy to read. I am reading the audiobook, but I feel like you can kind of tell when something is really easy to read. I'm hoping to read a little bit more of this in physical format at some point, but so far just been listening to the audiobook because I've been driving, so it kind of works. But yeah, really enjoying that. I also started another book today, which is This Woven Kingdom by Tahara Mafi. I'm about 50 pages into this so far, and I am enjoying it, but the writing took me a while to get used to. I feel like the writing is very poetic and sometimes takes away from what it's trying to say. Like, I feel like it's just speaking in riddles sometimes. So yeah, I was struggling with that initially, but I think I've kind of gotten through that bit now. But this one follows Eliza. So she's a servant, but she's kind of like undercover. She's actually the long lost heir to an ancient Jin kingdom, and she's forced to hide in plain sight. And it also follows the crown prince's Cameron, who has heard of prophecies foretelling the death of his king. But he could never have imagined that the servant girl with the strange eyes, the girl that he can't put out of his mind, would one day soon uproot his kingdom and the world, and their worlds kind of collide. But yeah, this is a proof copy. This comes out, I think, on the 3rd of February. Yeah, the 3rd of February. And I'm excited to see where this one goes. Now I'm kind of getting into the writing style a bit more, which I did struggle with initially, but it's very easy to read, and all of the chapters have these like full page headers, which I really like. I don't know if that's going to be in the final copy or not, but I really like, because it kind of breaks up the book and gives you like a little bit of a break and a page as well to kind of like skip. But yeah, and I'll hopefully read some of this tonight, but also need to start the Song of Achilles. Reading so many books right now. But yeah, I'm gonna start this today. I'm reading it with my friends Jo and Alex over 7 days, so we're reading about 50 pages a day, and I haven't started this one yet, so I need to start this one soon. But yeah, I am excited and nervous and very apprehensive, because I know it's gonna upset me, I know it's gonna make me cry, and it has so much hype around it. I really don't know what I'm gonna think, but we will find out. I don't know. I am not one for Greek mythology retellings, because I just don't know enough about it, and the ones that I have tried to read, I haven't really enjoyed that much. I have read Circe by Madeline Miller, and I wasn't the biggest fan, and I think a lot of that is because I don't know enough about Greek mythology. But I feel like the Song of Achilles is probably going to be a lot more accessible. I know a lot of people have read it, and I don't imagine that everybody has any kind of background knowledge about Greek mythology, so hopefully it'll be more accessible and I can understand everything that's going on. But yeah, I also bought a book today at work, and that was Midwinter Murder by Agatha Christie, to add to my Agatha Christie collection, which is there on my fireplace. This is a selection of short stories again from HarperCollins that matches my set, and it is set in midwinter. So I might read this soon. I don't know whether to read this like in winter or save it for when I do kind of a Christmas Agatha Christie readathon maybe with myself, because there is a few in this selection that are Christmas themed. There's Poirot's Christmas, and there's The Adventure of the Christmas Pudding, so I might save this and do all 3 of them later in the year closer to Christmas. Love this cover. This is one of the ones that got me to want to get this set, because this has been out for about a year now. I think it came out Christmas 2020, I want to say. Yeah, it did. And then we've had Adventure of the Christmas Pudding come out this year. But yeah, well, 2021. But yeah, anyway, got another one to add to my collection. I'm gonna head off now, we'll do some reading tonight and do some other things that I want to do, and I will update you tomorrow, which I have more time, so hopefully I will be reading a bit more. Hi, it is Wednesday? Yeah, I think it's Wednesday. Anyway, I thought I'd just give you a quick update. I have a meeting, an online meeting in a minute, but I thought I'd just quickly update you because I haven't updated you yet today. But I have done some reading. I have read another chunk of The Poppy War on audiobook, really enjoying this one. Honestly, it feels like I've read an entire book already. There is so much in here. So when I first started reading this and I realised it's set in an academy, like a school, I thought, okay, maybe it'll do the first year. Like this first book will cover the first year, and I'm already at the end of the first year. So I'm like, wow, this has got 3 books in the series. Where is it gonna go? I feel like there is so much packed into this series, which I love. I also love the characters, and I love the way the characters are discussed. So yeah, I'm really enjoying this one so much. Really loving the audiobook. I haven't really read any more of this Woven Kingdom, and I really need to, because I have another book on my TBR to get to this month, and it is the 26th, but hoping to read another chunk of this today. I'm only about 60 pages in, and I'm enjoying it enough, but it hasn't really like captured my attention that much yet. And then I also started the Song of Achilles last night, and I'm 100 pages into this. I'm doing it on a buddy read, and I'm really enjoying it so far. I was so hesitant going in because I've read Circe, and it wasn't for me. But this one is so different. It is so easy to read. It honestly reads very easy, and also is so easy to picture what's going on, which I absolutely love. Love the relationship between Patroclus and Achilles. The thing I'm worried about is this book has reminded me a lot in some ways of Call Me By Your Name, not only because obviously it's a gay romance, but also there's some discussions at the start of this book about how old they are, and I feel like that also comes through a lot in Call Me By Your Name. And there's also just the way that it talks about intimacy, and the way that it's worded and written kind of reminds me of Call Me By Your Name, and I didn't like Call Me By Your Name, so I'm a little bit concerned, but it is already, I'm enjoying it a lot more than I did the start of Call Me By Your Name, so I have high hopes that this will be different enough for me, but enjoying it so far. It's difficult to say that this is a historical romance, obviously, because it is based on a myth, but it obviously does read very much as this is a historical book, which I don't read a lot of. But it is very easy to read, which I'm enjoying. Also feel like a lot's happened in this, even just 100 pages in, but I'm excited and very nervous to see where this goes, because I know it's gonna make me cry. I'm pretty sure it's gonna make me cry because everyone says it makes them cry, but we will see. But anyway, I've got to go for that meeting, but quick update, and I'll speak to you soon. Hi, it is Thursday and I need to update you on my reading. I also had a coil fitting today, which went not as well as expected, but it was okay in the end. It just took a while to actually have it fitted, and I ended up with a different coil than I expected to have, because they were struggling. But yeah, I have a coil fitted and I have had like cramps and stuff, so I'm having a kind of slow day, not really doing anything, and I want to get some reading done, but it's already later in the day than I kind of thought I would be at this point, because I've been watching TV with my mom. We've been watching the new season of Queer Eye, which is really nice. We always watch Queer Eye together, so we were very excited when the new season came out. But it's about 2 p.m, I think, and I'm gonna read for the rest of the day. It's my plan. I would like to read a big chunk of This Woven Kingdom. I'm ahead on my buddy read of The Poppy War. Need to read some of the Song of Achilles today, but I would like to read as much as I can of this one, which I am getting through, and I've already read 50 pages of today, this morning, before I have my appointment. This one I am getting into, and is getting better, but it's not the best. It's hard to describe, but I feel like nothing's happened for a start. I'm 150 pages in, and I look at the difference between this and The Poppy War, which I'm also reading, and I'm around the same in. I might actually be less into The Poppy War. And The Poppy War, I feel like I've read an entire book, like that much has happened. I feel like I've read an entire book. Whereas this one, I could probably summarise what's happened in the summary of the book, like the blurb. I just don't feel like we're really getting anywhere. I also talked a little bit about the writing. The writing is kind of not good. This is young adult, but it kind of feels like it's trying to write for adults. Like, it's a little pretentious, and I was talking to Courtney about this yesterday, and she was saying, like, she really, really wants to like Tahara Mafi's writing, but it feels like she doesn't really know where her voice is, and she kind of goes for something different with each book. Like, this just feels so different to Chatterme or her contemporary writing. Feels like something completely new, and some of the sentences are just really, really long, use words that just don't really sound right. I don't know, I just found it quite hard to get into. It's not hard to read at all, but at first I was kind of like rereading sentences thinking, like, does this make sense? Is this the right word to use here? And it's just, yeah, there's this one sentence that's like, it's that entire paragraph, the one sentence, and it's just very long. So I feel like some of it is not the best written, but I've persevered with it, and I am enjoying it, but it's not the best. I don't think I'll be carrying on with this series, unfortunately, but it's really hard to say because I am enjoying it, and I'm interested to see where it goes. I really like the female main character, which is, I can't remember her name. Eliza, I really like her, but Cameron, who is the prince, I just, as soon as he kind of came into the story, I was like, oh yeah, of course, Tahara Mafi always writes unlikable men. Like, the same with Chatterme, I just remember not liking the love interest at all, and that she tries to write these kind of, like, sympathetic storylines for them that just don't really work for me, and I think this one might be going in that direction as well. But I feel like I'm talking a lot of crap, but I am enjoying it. It's very easy to get through, and I am kind of looking forward to seeing where it goes. I just hope that it does go somewhere, but I'm going to read a lot of this hopefully in the next couple of hours. I was going to film another video today, but I think I'm going to leave that until tomorrow now. Maybe like prepare for it today and then actually film it tomorrow, and I will hopefully get a big chunk of reading done by not doing that. So yeah, I'm gonna read some of this. But yes, I will speak to you soon. Hi, it is the same day. It is Thursday. Yeah, it's Thursday still. And I actually managed to finish This Woven Kingdom. I haven't been doing a lot today at all. I've just been resting. And yeah, I finished it. It was okay. I feel like my opinions haven't really changed much. I liked it, but it wasn't amazing. It wasn't great. I feel like the pacing was very slow, like even though I managed to read it very quickly, and the writing was kind of, once you got past the initial kind of like oddness of the writing, it was quite easy to read. The chapters were usually fairly short. I think there was only a few in here that were like 20 pages or more. Usually they were fairly short, so it's easy enough to read. It was just, a lot of it was just okay. I wouldn't say I necessarily felt that much for the characters. I really liked Eliza's character. I think she was a really interesting, strong female character. However, I can't really say the same for Cameron. I just didn't really feel anything for him. And yeah, I don't know, it was just kind of mediocre, I guess. The last line does intrigue me to where the story is going to go, but I don't think it's going to intrigue me enough to actually pick up the next book when it comes out, especially as this one isn't even out yet until the 3rd of February. So yeah, I don't know, mixed feelings about this, but it was very kind of slow in the fact that I feel like not a lot happened in this book, and I could sum a lot of it up in a couple of sentences where we actually got to. I feel like I just expected what happened at the end to happen a lot earlier and then to kind of move on with the book from there, but I don't know if that's just comparing it to other things I'm currently reading, like the Poppy War, which a lot is happening in. So yeah, I don't know, mixed feelings. It was okay. It will probably be a 3-star or a 3.5 star. There was some things I liked in it, like I kind of liked the setting. I liked that this had a lot of food descriptions in it. It was interesting the way that it talked about class, and it talked about gender and things like that. But I don't know, it definitely didn't blow me away, and I feel like Tahara Mafi is trying to find her voice, and I feel like this kind of feels like the series that is for her, like it's the one that she wants to write. I don't know if that's just me, but that's kind of what I get from kind of the vibes of this. And I don't know if she's quite found the way to tell it, if that makes sense. I just feel like there is something missing in what she's trying to kind of portray. But yeah, I don't know, maybe it will be more for other people than me. But I don't think it was entirely for me. But anyway, I have one more book on my January TBR that I haven't started yet, and that is More Than This by Patrick Ness, which is another chunky boy, but I'm hoping this one will be quite a quick one to read. It is almost 500 pages, so it's around the same as This Woven Kingdom was, but I'm hoping this one will be quite easy to read. I don't know how much about it, and it's been on my shelves for very, very long time. The synopsis is very short. It just says, a boy drowns, desperate and alone in his final moments. He dies. Then he wakes, naked and bruised and thirsty, but alive. How can this be, and what is this strange deserted place? As he struggles to understand what is happening, the boy dares to hope. Might this not be the end? Might there be more to this life, or perhaps this afterlife? So yeah, interested to see where this one goes. I hope you will join me for the rest of this vlog to find out. And I need to finish this by Monday, which is the end of the month, so wish me luck. I will also be reading more of the Song of Achilles, which I haven't read any of today, but I will read my 50 pages later today before I go to bed. And I will be reading more of the Poppy War, which I'm ahead of anyway. I'm ahead on Our Body Reads, so probably gonna read some more of that tomorrow because I'm reading it mostly on audiobook and I have some driving tomorrow, so I'll probably listen to it then. But yeah, so update, I finished this. I'm going to start this. Nervous because it's been on my shelf for so long, but I don't know. Let's see how it goes. I'm hoping it draws me in. I'll speak to you soon. I'm back literally seconds later because I forgot to show you something that arrived today. So this I'm very, very happy with, but it's taken a long time to arrive. And I've had a little bit of a problem with the seller, the shop, unfortunately. But this is the dust jacket for The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, my favourite book from Books Know No Age. And I absolutely love this design and I'm really happy I got it. But as I said, I've been having a lot of issues with the shop. I have done 2 orders, one of which was mid-December, which was this order. So me and my friend Amy ordered this dust jacket and the Kingdom of the Wicked and Kingdom of the Cursed ones on the 13th of December, I believe. Wasn't dispatched until the 12th of January and only arrived today on the 27th of January. And it took a lot of kind of like trying to contact the shop again, finally got that dispatched, and then I did another order end of December, which still hasn't arrived at the end of January. I'm still waiting on that one. It says it's been dispatched to Royal Mail, but there's been no update since Monday, so fingers crossed that one turns up as well soon. Unfortunately haven't been that impressed with the service, but I don't know anyone else who's had problems with them, so I don't know if I've just been kind of unlucky, especially with it being Christmas and stuff. So I don't know whether it's more like Royal Mail have just been slow and things like that, but I'm happy with this dice jacket. It is very, very beautiful, and I'm looking forward to putting it on one of my many copies of Addie LaRue. Hi guys, it is late Saturday night, which is why I'm talking quite quietly, but I wanted to give you a quick update without my face because I'm literally about to go to sleep. But I am finally started More Than This. I'm about 70 pages in, so I haven't read that much of it today, but hopefully I will read a bigger chunk of this one tomorrow because I'd like to finish it on Monday, but I'll be reading a lot of it on Monday if I want to finish it on Monday, but we'll see. This is kind of not what I expected. I'm reading another like post-apocalyptic book, I've realised, or just apocalyptic book. This is about somebody who thinks he's dead, he's drowned, and he's actually still alive, and he kind of wakes up in this world, which turns out to be England. I think it's London, but I'm not sure. And nobody's around, and he doesn't know why, and it feels like it's been a long time since anyone was last in the world, so it's interesting. Looking forward to seeing where it goes. Very quick. I feel like it's a really easy read, and the chapters are fairly short as well, so they're only like, yeah, some of them are really short, as you can see, so very quick to read it. Excited to read more of this one. It has actually really drawn me in already, which I wasn't expecting, but I'm glad about, because I feel like it will be a quick read even though it is quite chunky. I've also been reading the Song of Achilles, which is in my bag right now, which I am enjoying, but I'm not enjoying as much as I want to be, but I will give you my more thoughts and feelings on that one tomorrow. And then I also have a little stack here of books that I got today. The first one being Room to Dream by Kelly Yang. This is the third book, I think, in the Front Desk series. These books are so pretty, I absolutely love them. And also look at the back. So I don't really want to look too much into this because I know this is the third one in the series, but from what I understand, this series follows, it's a middle grade series, and it follows a main character whose parents run a motel, and I think in this one she travels to China, so excited to get to the series this year. I just need the second one now because I think the publishers have sent me the first and third, actually, the publishing company, so that's exciting. So this one is published by Knights Of, so thank you to Knights Of for sending me this one. And then I also bought The ABC Murders by Agatha Christie, and I picked up The Adventure of the Christmas Pudding by Agatha Christie to add to my Agatha Christie set, which is actually up there on my fireplace. So yeah, I have only a few to collect now. I think I am almost there with this. I think I might only have one left actually to get. Two left to get, one of which is on the way, so yeah, excited about these. But I'm gonna go now, go to sleep, and I will fully update you tomorrow and finish this vlog tomorrow as well. Hi and welcome to the end of this vlog. I hope you don't mind this angle because I've gotten really lazy and now I just rest my phone on my chest of drawers, so we're here again. But yeah, this is mainly just an update to update you about the Song of Achilles, because I don't think I've read any more of More Than This since I updated you last night. I'm still very much at the start, and I really want to finish this tomorrow because it's the end of the month, so wish me luck. And if you want to see that, check out my next week's reading vlog when that comes out, because I will be trying to finish that on Monday, which is tomorrow. But anyway, the Song of Achilles. This is a big book. This feels very daunting for me to read because it is so hyped and I really didn't know what to expect. And I have read Circe and it wasn't for me. The writing I found very dense. I do want to put it out there that I'm not really very knowledgeable about Greek mythology. It's not something I know a lot about or have been really that interested in kind of growing up or anything. So I think that does hinder me a little bit going into Greek mythology, but I did have higher hopes with this one in terms of I know that so many people have read it and I don't imagine all of those people know a lot about Greek mythology, if anything. So I did have really high hopes, and this one from the start has been a lot more accessible. It has been a lot easier to follow than Circe. It's a lot less literary, so I do understand a lot why this is the one that blew up and why this is the one that everyone talks about, because it is a lot more so accessible to people who may not read as much, because it is a lot easier to read and the characters are kind of easier to sympathise with and easier to follow. This one is actually told from Patroclus's point of view, which I thought it was told from Achilles' point of view, probably because of the name of the book. And I think Alex thought the same thing, so buddy reading this one with Alex and Joe. But this is told from Patroclus's point of view as he kind of falls in love with Achilles, and then they go out to fight in the war in Troy. And that's kind of where this book goes. It's before Troy. But yeah, this is... I have such mixed feelings. I only have 50 pages left, so I will give full thoughts and feelings in my next vlog. This hasn't made me cry yet. I don't think we're there yet. I feel like that's going to come in the next 50 pages, so that will come tomorrow. But oh my god, this started off so strong and I was really enjoying it and I was really liking the characters and I could see why everyone loved it so much, and then I feel like I've just lost interest. Like, if I'm going to be completely honest with myself, and I feel like that is hard to do sometimes when you know how hyped a book is and you know how well loved it is, I am not loving it. Like, it's enjoyable enough and I definitely find it more accessible and I like the characters, and there are parts of this book which I absolutely love. There are sentences and there are paragraphs which I'm like, yeah, that's 5 stars, that is brilliant. It's brilliantly written, there are some great quotes, and then it's just kind of like petered off. I don't feel myself wanting to go back. I don't feel like a draw. I feel like this has been a bit of a slog, not in terms of like the writing, but just, I don't know, the pacing feels really off for me, and it's just felt a little bit hard to go back to every day. I've been reading like 50 pages a day-ish, and some days I haven't even hit that. Like, I've had to catch up a bit today because I was a little bit behind, and I feel like after such a promising start of it being super easy to read, I expected that to kind of carry on throughout the whole book, and I feel like it kind of hasn't, and we've gotten very much into like talking about war and talking about life on the camp, which I don't mind. I feel like it is very much like a slice of life rather than like a big political historical book, which I appreciate and is what I wanted. But I don't know, I like those more intimate scenes at the start of the book where it was just between Patroclus and Achilles, rather than bringing in the war and bringing in all of these other characters. So I don't know whether it's going to kind of go back to that at the end. And I know that something big is going to happen at the end that will probably make me sad. And I don't know, because I've been so hesitant to say anything about this book because I feel like I need to finish it first. Because I feel like it is one of those things that my opinion could very much change at the end of the book, because I know that very big things happen and I don't know how that is going to hit me. And I feel like if that does make me really emotional like I'm expecting, it could make me actually really like the book a lot more. But I also have to take into account how I'm feeling every time I pick this up and how I'm feeling for sections of this book, and there has been kind of a big section where I'm just kind of turning off from it, and I'm not really loving it. So that is how I'm feeling right now, if it makes any sense. I have very mixed opinions, feeling very mixed about it. I can see where the love comes from for this book, but I still feel like it might not be for me, or it definitely won't be a 5 stars from me. But we will see how I feel when I finish it. So if you again want to see my thoughts on this, that'll be in next week's vlog and in my monthly wrap up for January. So we'll finish this one by the end of the month, which is tomorrow. But yeah, I don't know. I'm so torn, but I'm glad that I have finally read it, because it's one of those books that's been on my TBR for a while and I've been really hesitant to read because I don't know how I'm gonna feel about, and it is such a hyped book that I feel like I need to love it, and I might not, but I don't know. Anyway, that is the end of this week's reading vlog. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please join me for another one if you have enjoyed it, and all of that stuff. And if you have enjoyed it, then please join me for another one if you did enjoy it, because I do try and film these every single week as much as I possibly can. And if you wanted to check out any of the books that I mentioned in this video or anything else about me, I will link that kind of stuff down below. And yeah, hopefully I will see you in another video. Bye.